What's going on, people, and welcome to Man Knows Football. You are here with Guni and Tottenham fan Sam. How you doing today, my brother?
I'm good, man. How are we doing? How's everything?
Yeah, not too bad. Looking forward to the game tomorrow. But obviously, before we get into the nitty gritty of them details there, make sure like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. You get me? You've been fantastic. We crossed the 2,000 barrier. So thank you very much for that. As always, your comments are appreciated down there. If you want to follow Sam as well, his details are going to be down there in the description, all clickable links. So make sure you follow Sam. But yes, tomorrow, bro, it is the London Derby, fam. Yeah, we're playing away, Chelsea being us, away at White Hart Lane. You have a few injuries, but at the same time, you got a couple of returns. So you got Lo Celso's back, Cristian Romero's back, Davidson Sanchez is back. But you also have some doubts in Son, Eric Dyer, Bergwijn, and Lucas Moura. And obviously Tanganga is suspended. But Sam, talk me through how you're feeling for tomorrow's game.
Um, Not look, the injuries aren't great. Son and Dyer trained today with the team, so they should be involved tomorrow. So I would expect to see at least Son starting. I'd be very surprised if he doesn't, but he'll be on the bench at least. Obviously, Jaffet Tanganga out, suspended. I doubt Lucas Bergwijn will play either, but could be a good opportunity for young Brian Hill to play, who's a talented boy, captain of the Spain under-21s. So it could be an opportunity for him. And obviously Thursday night, Ndombele showed us that he's the best midfielder we've got by a country mile. And look, we didn't get a win on Thursday, but it was an injury depleted side with players going off after 10 minutes, 20 minutes, and just battled to get a point in a tough against a team that I think they played you guys in the Champions League last year, Ren.
They did, yeah, Ren.
Yeah, so look, they've actually spent 80 million euros on that team after losing Camavinga anyway. So it's a decent point away there. Considering it's the Conference League, you'd expect to be playing easier sides than that. But Sunday, I'm not looking forward to it, to be perfectly honest. Look, you're a top side with strength and depth all over the pitch, a bottomless pit of money. And tomorrow it's sort of, I think Spurs fans are just going to hope for a similar performance and situation to that Man City game where we were really good. We played the counter. We let City have the ball, and then when we did have it, we were effective with it. We countered really well. We looked dangerous on the break, and with Kane and back as well involved in this, Son and whoever else. Emerson, it looks like he's got a yard of pace on him. I was about to say Lucas and Bergwijn, but it looks like neither of them are going to play. So if Nuno can get a decent game plan together, there's no reason why we can't get a result as well, especially being at our place with the crowd. And when in this new ground, when the crowd is going, it's absolutely deafening. The South Stand sort of sucks the ball in the goal at times. But look, it's going to require one heck of a performance to get a result tomorrow. Lukaku's Lukaku. You've got good players. I like Mason Mount, top quality, Kovacic, and then defensively you're quite good. You're very good. Rudiger is a good defender. Thiago Silva. I mean, I could go on all day. Kante. My mind's gone blank. I like Timo Werner. Gets a lot of stick, but he's must be a nightmare to play against with his pace. Havertz as well, good player. So look, it's not going to be some stroll in the park tomorrow. I actually think we will lose, but if Nuno can get a bit of a game plan going, and with everything that's gone against him with injuries and all this different transfer sagas, then who knows?
Well, obviously Nuno, being your new manager, you're a couple games in now. Are you obviously your last result wasn't the best, and circumstances, 10 men in a London derby. Although I still do have some reservations about that loss. It was the manner in which you lost that game, which I was disappointed in. However, how do you feel so far from what you've seen from Nuno? Do you think tactically he will be able to at least give Thomas Tuchel a good game tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, Nuno has one of the best records against the top six from when he was Wolves manager. I think he beat I can't remember if Pep even beat him when City played them. I don't know his record against Chelsea, but you might be able to tell me if he did well against Wolves. I know that they got a 0-0 in Tuchel's. I think it was Tuchel's first game.
It was his first game, yeah.
So Nuno was absolutely suited to getting results against the Big Six. Last week was an absolute mare. The starting 11 was dreadful. Yeah, we had a lot of injuries. We had 10 men, and like you said, it was the manner of the loss that was really disappointing. No creativity and no attacking threat. And I actually think defensively, I thought we were really good until we went 1-0 down and gave away that silly pen.
Yeah.
One thing I will say, we've looked really, really good defensively under Nuno in the league, that is. And I hope it continues tomorrow. It's just about getting that balance right between going forward and defending. Because that midfield three last week was just like having plain bread for lunch. It was just so boring, no creativity. They all do the same thing, sort of. They're all very similar, very unbalanced. So I think he's got to find a way tomorrow to get Ndombele involved, to get Højbjerg a bit further up the pitch, and no Harry. I don't want to see Harry Winks playing. He's not as bad as everyone makes him out to be, but he's just not. He'll just get overran. That's his problem. And I want to see Ollie Skip playing a bit deeper. But look, your midfield, I think, is one of your other. I mean, you've got Lukaku up front, but I think your midfield is absolutely brilliant when Kante's in there with the balance with Mount and Kovacic or Jorginho.
Yeah.
Sorry, whoever it might be. And look, I think Nuno's definitely got the tactical prowess to get a result. Whether he does or not remains to be seen. But he's got to change it from last week. He's got to change the way he wanted to play from last week, because that was bad. That was really, really bad.
No, I have to agree. And one player that you mentioned who hasn't really been playing for Tottenham is actually in Ndombele. But the last game, like you just said, he had a fantastic game. And the thing is with Ndombele is because he came from, was it Lyon that he came from? You signed him from? Yeah, Lyon. In League On, right? And this is the thing with League On midfielders coming into the Prem, there has been a lot of success in that, in terms of that's one of the leagues where midfielders translate well into the Prem. And with him, his skill set, right? I think if Nuno uses him to his strengths, that's the guy that will speed up them transitions from midfield to attack. He's so good on the ball. He carries the ball so well, and he's skillful as shit, bro.
Yeah.
He is like proper, like when he's got that confidence.
He's one of the best midfielders I've ever seen. As technical ability goes, and as a footballer, he's one of the best I've ever seen. When it comes to attitude, everything that comes together to be a good footballer is not just being good at football. You know, it's
of course,
attitude, it's work rate, it's application, and he has none of that. All he's got is the technical ability.
Yeah,
he obviously believes in himself. He obviously rates himself highly, and rightly so. He's an absolute baller. There is no other player like him. He is so unique, so talented. He even last year, I remember against Chelsea, he took Kante for a walk, and Kante's no mug. So he's unbelievable. And if he can get him playing, then look, we can be a good side. But so far, nobody's been able to get him really consistently playing. Mourinho couldn't really do it. Poch couldn't do it. Ryan Mason didn't even give him a game. So it's down to Nuno now, and it's down to Ndombele, really. It always comes down to the player, I think. He's got to show that he's got the attitude, the application, and the desire to play every week, to want to run, to want to help the team in both going forward and defensively. And that's the main issue for me. But look, he's a talented boy. I actually don't think he'll start tomorrow. I think he got 80 minutes on Thursday, and that was his first appearance since back end of April. So I doubt he's going to chuck him in tomorrow, which is a shame. But I think we'll see a Højbjerg, Dele Alli, and Skip 3 tomorrow. So yeah, we're a bit light in central midfield, in my opinion.
I've got some bad news for you, but some good news for Chelsea. My favorite Chelsea player is returning to the fold, Ngolo Kante.
I didn't even.
Yeah, he had a knock was it against Liverpool? Yeah, he had a knock against Liverpool where he came off, and we've just been a bit cautious with him because in recent, well, particularly the past season, perhaps towards about 2 seasons, he's been picking up like reoccurring niggly injuries. Nothing serious, but they're just starting to become a bit more frequent. You know what I'm saying? So I think Tuchel was managing him, but we've got him available for the game, which is a massive boost for Chelsea. And an interesting thing about Thomas Tuchel, and listen, everyone knows I love the guy. His away record, he's lost one in 15.
That's
He's
very
won.
good.
Yeah, he's won one. He's lost 1 out of 15, and that game that we lost was against Aston Villa away. And I'm gonna chalk that down to the fact that it was the end of the season. We had a Champions League final to think about, so I can forgive that. But honestly, like just all bants aside, obviously, you know, the rivalry Chelsea and Spurs, just from a footballing perspective and just from what I'm seeing and who you're missing out, and big man Harry Kane kind of not being on the form that we know him to be on. I see it to be a bit of a struggle for you to even get a goal against us because of the way we've been defending. Because look, Chelsea's record speaks for itself, right? We've conceded 1 goal in open play. If you want to count the Super Cup, yeah, that's the only goal. Yeah, that's the only goal. The only goal we conceded in open play. The other one that we conceded was the penalty against Liverpool. So it is actually quite difficult to break us down. It can be done. Aston Villa did give us some warnings. Even Zenit gave us a couple of warnings.
I think Aston Villa somehow didn't score.
Yeah,
I would say that was a bit of luck that he didn't. I'm not saying
it was also world-class goalkeeping from Mendy as well.
I wouldn't even go as far to say world class. I mean, those saves I would expect a goalkeeper in the Premier League to make, in my opinion.
Bro, yeah, go back and watch it again.
I watched it. I was a bit disappointed with the finishing from Villa. I thought Mendy, yeah, he made some good saves, but in my opinion, those are saves if you're a Premier League goalie, you need to make.
Should be making. All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
If you're the Champions League winning goalkeeper, you need to make those saves.
Simple. Yeah, facts. Yeah. I suppose the expectations for him, yeah, no, do you know what? I have to agree if we're putting that to the expectations. So obviously the main, well, we got a lot of threats in our squad, but the main one who's on prolific scoring form is Romelu Lukaku. How do you expect Nuno and he's meant to deal with him?
I'm not sure because I don't know who's going to play a centre back tomorrow. Because obviously we've had the issues with Dyer being injured and the Sanchez and Romero being in Croatia training there. Romero, I wouldn't mind if he played tomorrow. Look, he completely pocketed Lukaku in Italy. I mean, there's that video of that unbelievable tackle. Lukaku stood on goal and out of nowhere.
Yeah, Lukaku, that game, he created literally zero chances. And I was going to go on.
No, it just takes look. We saw Villa. I thought Lukaku was really disappointing against Villa, and he scored 2 goals. That's the sign of a good striker. Same against Zenit. Didn't play well, but one chance he scored. Great header on Wednesday or Tuesday, whenever it was. And the same thing goes for us. We've looked good defensively. I think the only goal we conceded 3 at Palace. 1 was a penalty, and 2 were the late goals in the 89th minute when with 10 men it was sort of a bit like they just went in basically. And those are the only open play goals in the league we've conceded. We kept 3 clean sheets against City, Wolves, and Watford. So there's no reason why we can't keep. I don't think we will keep a clean sheet, but there's no reason why we can't keep a clean sheet, and there's no reason why we can't get a result tomorrow. Look, everyone thought we'd get battered by City on the opening day, and we absolutely killed them. Football's a funny old game. There's no reason why we can't win tomorrow. I remember, I think it was under Maurizio Sarri at Wembley. You were unbeaten for the first 3 months of the season up until November. I know you weren't as good as you are now, and you weren't winning every week. But I thought we'd lose that day, and we ended up dominating you and beating you 3-0, 3-1, whatever it was. Same goes when we won at Stamford Bridge after all those years. I never thought we'd win that day. Every time I go there to Stamford Bridge, I think we'll lose. So you never know. Football's a funny old game, and I think tomorrow will just come down to who. It's cliche. Who wants it more, or maybe who
It's a derby. It's a London derby. Form goes out the window as well. So we've also got to remember that. And it's like you were
4 or 5 games in anyway. What is this? The 5th game? Everyone's still getting their sharpness up, their fitness up, like getting to know new players, new in our case, new manager, whatever. There's loads of different factors. So it's an interesting one. Look, I'd be surprised if we got battered in terms of scoreline. I'd be very surprised. I don't remember the last time at home, especially in the Premier League, that we were well beaten. And I think so. I think we'll compete. I mean, Nuno said in his press conference that we'll compete. I think we will give you a game. It's just whether it's just whether we take the chances that we can create, if we create any after last week. Also, look, if Son's fit, that's a major boost for us. So Kane, because Kane, when he drops deep, he needs Son making those runs, and there's no one else that does it. So I think if Kane and Son are playing, I think look, in my opinion, they're the best duo in the league as a duo. And I think they'll cause you problems. I think they'll cause anyone problems. But look, obviously, Lukaku, I'm not sure. The good thing for Chelsea fans, trying to guess your starting lineup every week must be a nightmare. You've got so many good options up there.
That's it.
Werner can play, Havertz can play, Lukaku, Ziyech, Hudson-Odoi. Who am I missing here? Pulisic's injured, but he's an option.
The depth is crazy.
Your depth is what Spurs fans like, what we dream of, mate. Our second choice striker is a 17-year-old kid. Look, no disrespect to him, he's an unbelievable footballer. He'll go on, and I'm sure, and have a great career.
Of course, but it's just to win stuff, you need that depth. Yeah, you need depth in quality.
I really hope we can pull it off tomorrow, because it would be a really big boost after a couple of weeks of not negativity around Spurs, because of not like Jose negativity, but negativity because we had so many injuries. We lost the Palace, the 10 men. The whole situation with the Argentinian boys being stuck out there and the quarantining and everything, and it would just be a big boost and something to build on from tomorrow as well, going into the North London derby, which we've got next week. And to be honest, if you offered me 3 points at Arsenal but lose tomorrow, I'd snatch your hand off.
Fair play. Yeah,
I'd rather. I hate Arsenal more. I'd rather win at Arsenal than.
I hear you. I hear you. But I was gonna say about Lukaku, because you did mention. I actually watched that game, Atalanta versus Inter, and Cristian Romero was heavily involved in that, and you could see that the coach had said to him, "Look, when Lukaku first receives the ball, make your challenge, because his first touch ain't that good. Make him uncomfortable." And he gave him the license to follow him a bit deeper down the field, and he was still doing the same thing there. If he gets his touch off, you get me, don't go too tight on him, because he's going to spin off you. They handled it very well. But I think obviously in this Chelsea team, the dynamic is slightly different, because especially if Lukaku decides to do that and Cristian does that, then we also have Timo Werner and potentially Kai Havertz or whoever it may be that's going to just occupy that space. So it's gonna be a difficult one, but at the same time, you lot are no mugs. Defensively, your record, I'm gonna blind the last game, but defensively, you've been good. You've done very well against Manchester City. So, like you said, football is a funny game. Obviously, we're coming towards the end of the interview, but before you leave, I was going to ask you your lineup, but considering the amount of injuries, it would kind of be impossible for you to call it in it.
It will probably be Lloris. It will be Emerson. It will be Sanchez, and I don't think Dyer. I think it will be Sanchez and Romero. I just don't think Dyer. I think Dyer is the biggest injury doubt for me, although he did train, but who knows? I think it'll be Reguilon, and then it will be Skip, Højbjerg, Dele Alli. Because he's not going to play Ndombele, which really annoys me. And then it will be Son, Kane, and I really don't know. It'll be it depends on Lucas and Bergwijn's situations as well. But I think it'll be he can change the formation with the injuries. Kane and Son can play as a 2 with Dele behind, and then have Skip and Højbjerg, and maybe add an extra defender, an extra centre back, and play 3 at the back. Who knows? We might match you. So yeah, you know what? I actually can't do that. I have no idea. Couldn't tell you what the lineup is tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Maybe Celso, who knows?
No, me. I'm just gonna go with mine quick. Mendy. I'm in goal. Obviously, I will go with. Obviously, Rudiger is immovable at the minute. He's got to stay. Christensen, I'd like to see him play. I'd like to see Aspi as well. Right wing back, I think Reece James is available. I did think initially it was a 3-game suspension, but it was a 1-game suspension, so he might be back for that. Left wing back, it's got to be Marcus Alonso in the form that he's on, and he does love to play against Spurs, to be fair on him.
You say that, he got absolutely battered in the 3-1 defeat yeah, home and away in 20. I can't remember when it was, but he got abused and battered.
He did. But the thing is it's the manager that I trust, because this guy has revived so many careers, and since he's been at the club, he hasn't. Marcos Alonso, I can't say he's really done too much wrong, so I definitely keep him there. The pivot, Kante being fit, he's got to come back in. My thing is do I go with Jorginho or do I go with Kovacic? Because Kovacic is on the form of his life. I think I'll stick with Kovacic, you know. Um, then the front three, it's gonna be for me, it's gonna be Lukaku, Timo, and Kai Havertz. That's gonna be my squad. I hope that's it.
That is frightening.
Yeah, it's a ridiculous squad, isn't it?
It really is frightening, you know. Look, there are some. I do think if Jorginho plays, I think we can get at him, and I think if Marcos Alonso plays, I think we can get at him as well. So I also back Harry Kane against anyone. Like, at the end of the day, it's Harry Kane. I think. Yeah, no, but look, it will be a really tough game, and it will take a bit of a miracle to get a win tomorrow. But who knows? Look, got to be positive. It's only early in the season.
Score prediction?
2-1 to Spurs.
He's optimistic. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna keep the same energy, although there are a few changes last minute that I did not expect. Nah, do you know what? I'm gonna change it up. I said 3-0 yesterday, but now that I see you've got a couple man coming back, I'm gonna say 2-0 Chelsea. I still think we're gonna keep a clean sheet, bro. I reckon we will.
I can't remember the last time we conceded 3 at home in the league. Like, it must have been.
No, it's true. It's true. But I was thinking,
honestly, it must have been before Poch. I honestly, unless my mind's going blank, it must have been under like AVB or something. I really can't remember the last time we conceded 3.
But this is why I'm saying it's a complete game changer, because I thought at the back you weren't going to have Romero, you weren't going to have Sanchez, you weren't going to have Dyer. That's why. But you've got a couple of them who are options, and then obviously I like Lo Celso as well. I think that's a bit of a game changer for you.
He needs confidence. He's such a talented player.
Yeah.
Really, really good player. He was good at PSG, good at Betis. He's a good player. And I remember Mourinho's first season at Spurs, not when he came in midway through. The last 8 to 10 games, he was the only reason we managed to get in the top 6.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
He was unplayable most weeks. So hopefully he can, play well. But it's not going to be for Spurs fans. It's not going to be an enjoyable watch tomorrow. That's for sure.
Squeaky bum time, definitely. Yeah. Sir Alex Ferguson's favorite phrase there. Big up, Sir Alex. But we have come to the end of the interview. Sam, thank you very much for joining me. And to everybody who's been watching, make sure you do follow Sam. All of his details are down there in the description. So, like I said, click all the links, show the man some love. And also make sure you do like, share, subscribe, leave your comments down there as well. You know I respond to every single one of you. And if I don't, I promise you I will get round to you. But yeah, wherever you are in the world, whatever time it is, whatever you're doing, be safe. Bless.